Hey everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be all about the books that I'm hoping to read during the fall. I feel like I'm ready with the dark lips. For some reason, that mix with the lighting is making me look very white. So, Morticia, kinda. I mean, we're ready for the fall. It's actually cold right now, so I'm fully in the mood. I have a pile of books that I'm hoping to read in the upcoming 2-3 months, and I need your opinion about some of these because I'm planning a ton of challenges, and obviously some of them I'm going to keep quiet because it's going to be a fun surprise. But some of them I do want your feedback because I have multiple possibilities. Currently, I'm doing a challenge that I'm starting this week that will be going on, so I want to have your opinion. So, obviously, as always, every month I will be doing my Read It or Unhaul It challenge where I read books from my unread pile of books in this jar. So that's still going to be happening every month. Although I think for September, October, both, maybe just one, we'll see. I will purposely pick the red papers in here because they are my mystery thriller horror books. We're going to see what I'm in the mood for, but I feel like it could be fun to try and read as many as possible because it is going to be one of my biggest challenge for the upcoming months to try and find one favorite. The bar is extremely low because it's been so hard, and that's the vlog I'm currently filming. I am going to be doing different categories, so I am going to do one about books that I've read and loved other books by the same author. I feel like that should be somewhat successful. I feel like that's the one I'm the most hopeful about. And then I'm going to be doing some about books that are really popular, and I'm getting sucked into the hype. I feel like every time I do it, and it's really hit and miss, but when it is amazing, it's fun to also feel the hype, to also be loving a book that is popular. And when it's not, well, I guess I get to reassure the people that they're not the only ones that didn't like it. So some of the possible contenders for this category. We have Never Lie by Frida McFadden. I did read The Housemaid by her, and I'm going to be honest, it's going to make it to my worst books of the year. It is by far the worst written book I have read this year, and probably in a couple of years. And like, I'm not even super picky with the quality of writing. I mostly read for my enjoyment, and I expected popcorn read, which is fun, especially murder mystery. That's usually fun, or mystery thriller. They're fun. But I had no fun. That's not fully true. I did find it really readable, and that's what's making me hopeful that this one will also be at least readable. And yeah, the reason I will be including it is because I already own this. So I have to try it before, you know, either getting rid of it or hopefully enjoying it. So I will at least attempt it, I think, in that vlog, and we'll see. I mean, they're probably going to be all of them very quick read no matter what. So there's that. I don't even know what it is about. I don't care at this point. Because frankly, I don't think it's gonna go well. One that I'm hoping might go well if I don't read it right now. I'm still not sure as I'm filming this, but I have Gone Girl, and it could work for books that I've, love other books from the same author category. But if I don't pick it up this week, it's just a really popular book in general, and it's the only one I haven't read by this author. And yes, I still have not read this book. So I mean, this is pretty much guaranteed at least a 4 or 5 star, right? It should be. And the next one is The Perfect Marriage, also extremely popular. I hadn't heard of it, and the second I got it in my possession, that's when everyone told me I was going to hate this. Which, like, frustrating, but it's here, so I might as well give it a shot. This one is a woman that is an attorney. Yeah, and she defends her ex-husband? Oh no, I think they're still married. Either way, I'm gonna give it a shot. If it's bad, well, you'll get, a fun review, I guess, because renting can be fun. One that I haven't heard a lot of, but I was trying to find, like, murder mystery, crime novels, inspector, detective kind of stories that were written by women, because I've been really unlucky by the ones written by men. I'm just so tired of reading about sexism, racism. Like I attempted to read The Bat earlier this year, and like the officer literally kicks a dog, chapter 2. Like, and then he said the N-word in first chapter. So like, no. But this one is really popular and older. A Great Deliverance, and I think it's a small town in Scotland or something, so I'm hoping this is going to work, because I had tried Louise Penny's books and the Inspector Armand Gamache series, which is set in Quebec, represent, and it did not age well. So I'm hoping that maybe this one will be better. So these are some of my options, but let me know which ones I should prioritize. I feel like I should just get over myself and finally read Gone Girl, but we'll see. We'll see. I have a few more possibilities, some from libraries too, which we'll get to in a second, but I feel like Those are some pretty good choices from the ones I already own because, again, I'm still trying to go through whatever I own because 500 unread books is a little ridiculous. So, next category, we have our 2 books for the Patreon book club. So, for our monthly book club, we did pick a horror book, which I'm happy. It was actually pretty unanimous, surprisingly. This is What Moves the Dead, which I have read in the book by T. Kingfisher. And it was Nettle and Bone. And it took me by surprise. It was a bit like fairy tale retelling vibes, which I haven't been lucky with, but I ended up really enjoying it. So I'm hoping that this one is also going to be good. It's also fairly short and, again, horror, which I don't read a ton of. It's a reimagining of the Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher. I could not have mispronounced more words in there. I've been speaking French a lot lately, and it's been really hard to speak English. So I've had to read some of his books or translation of his stories in French in high school, but it's been years. So we'll see how that goes. I'm hopeful that I will enjoy this. The reviews were actually positive, and again, I was really looking forward to reading more by the author. And they have written a lot of books. Now, for the classic category, we have September, October, November, December to read it. So we have 4 months, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not planning on picking it up probably until November, but if you want to start it right now, you can. And it is Far from the Madding Crowd. So again, in the classic, I have heard great things about this one. And yes, this woman has 3 suitors. That's what I remembered. So a dashing soldier, a respectable middle-aged farmer, and the main character. And the female character discovers the terrible consequences of an inconstant heart. I love classics. So that's the book that we're going to read for the rest of the year. Now, I also want to read a little bit of like cozy fantasy, like witches is usually what I go for the fall. I do own one that is like a romance. I don't read a ton of romance, but if I am in the mood, I want to give myself that option. And I have the X Hex. This is my worst nightmare. And the main female character years ago cursed her boyfriend, and I'm assuming the consequences of that are going to come back to bite her. Either way, I don't even really care. I just wanted more witches in my life. I feel like I've been really struggling to find good books about witches. I have found some, and I'm actually planning on doing a video about some of my favorite fall reads really, really soon in September, so you have that to look forward to. But I just wanted something light-hearted compared to all the horror books I'm planning on reading. And I have one sci-fi because I haven't read a lot of sci-fi, and this one is not a hard sci-fi, so it shouldn't be too difficult, but I really want to read the cat book, okay? This is Start a Villain, and you follow main character who, is it his uncle? Yeah, he inherits his super villain business from his uncle. But honestly, I think I just wanted to have another option that is a little bit more lighthearted. The author in general's writing tends to be more funny, so I have read a few of his books at this point, right? And it does feel like he's writing the same character over and over again, but I feel like usually it tends to work. So I've also started a series where I am attempting to get my life together. It's been very so far. The first week, all my plans went out the window because a cat showed up at my door, and I'm a sucker. I will adopt all the kittens. So I've been trying to still, again, get it together, but book-wise, I'm attempting to finish or continue series. And it's been hard because I am still in the middle of this one. To be fair, it is like 1,200 pages. Oldbringer by Brandon Sanderson. And I am not done with it. I've been reading it in between other ones that I'm reading, and I will never finish this book, it feels like. To be fair, I hadn't started it in 2 years. I had been wanting to. So the fact that I'm in the middle of it is already pretty good. I should just stop doing all of these challenges and just dedicate the next, 2 weeks to finishing it. Will I? No. So hopefully I will finish it before I do my part 3 of this challenge. I don't know if I will have time in September because I might switch it to a different challenge. Is it a good idea? No, it is not. Maybe I'm avoiding getting my life together. But last time I did cut my hair, which you really cannot tell right now because I did not curl it, but I did cut like this much hair, and it was cathartic. So if I do, though, I do have one that is a mystery thriller. Dark Corners. I have read book 1 2-3 years ago, I think, and I really enjoyed it. Did not realize that it became a series. So if I do read this, I would be continuing and finishing a series. And it's, again, murder mystery. So like, it fits perfectly for the fall. The first book was main character that has a podcast, and she goes to this town to kind of follow this story, and at the same time she gets involved in another story. Murder mystery. It's It was good. I enjoyed it. It was a great audiobook. I feel like whenever there's like a podcast in a book, it works well as audiobook, but I found this one at a used bookstore, so I had to pick it up, and it does still have like chapters that are podcasts, but I'm gonna try it as a physical book. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed book one, so like I'm hoping that it will be the case with book two. Obviously, I have like a million other series that I could potentially finish. This is a prequel from a series that I really enjoyed, Beneath the Keep. This is part of the Tearling series. I have book two in the Wheel of Time series that I started, read like 100 pages and never finished it. So I have a bunch more on here, on there. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to have time for this challenge in September, so I will do a TBR for October and we'll pick up whatever I read that month at that time, because I might change my mind or I might finish this one so I'll be able to actually do a different vlog. The last physical book that I really, really want to make sure that I will be reading is a nonfiction. I'm trying to get back into it, reading more of them, and I pick one of the shortest ones that I own. But it's also about witches, so like, you know, it's kind of fall. Look how tiny. Look how tiny. This is witches, midwives, and nurses. Is it actually about witches? Not really. But I think this is a really interesting topic. I like the whole like history of women healers. Always get angry when I think about the fact that so many women were part of these categories, were healers and would take care of women during childbirth. And then all the information was lost because men decided they were doctors and they would be the ones doing that. So I thought maybe this book on this topic should be something up my alley. We'll see. Hopefully that's exactly what it is about, but it does say that this is part of the women's health movement, like women confronting the ignorance about our own bodies, which I feel like the more info we hear about this topic lately, we've been hearing a lot. It's been you would think eventually would stop being angry about it, but never. So that's up on my list, on the list, and I have a few more that I really want to read, but I thought if I put the bar very low, chances are I will achieve it. And quickly from the library, because I haven't been finishing many audiobooks, but I do have some that I'm hoping to get to. So for the categories of new releases, so more towards October, I do have How to Solve Your Own Murder, which just title. Yes, I wanted to try it. The main character, I believe, was told like 60 years ago that she would be murdered in this specific way. She spent her whole life with that knowledge trying to prevent it, possibly. And then, you know, it happens. So sounds interesting. I do want to read All the Colors of the Dark, which some of you mentioned that you did read this and it was really amazing. So I have read the book by the author. So I feel like that should be hopefully something good too. I do have Murder Road by Simone St. James on here, which is her newest release, although some of you told me you hated it, so I'm a little nervous, but I really enjoyed The Sundown Motel by her, so I wanted to try more again. I feel like some authors, especially mystery thrillers, I will read everything until I give up on them, or maybe not. So I have this one, same thing with Daughter of Mine by Megan Miranda. I have read a ton of her books at this point, so that's on there. First Light Wins is also an audiobook that is like a thriller-y kind of book. Some of you told me you hated it, and some of you told me it was amazing. Every time I mention that I'm hoping to read a book, that's what happens. So now I'm left not knowing where I will stand, and I have to read it, so I will now. So there's that. I did want more witchy ones. I have The Spell Shop, and I have Spells for Forgetting. All I know is cozy, witchy book. That's it, and I'll let you know how that goes. There's a 50-50 chance here. So that's kind of where we're at for my fall TBR. I feel like you're seeing a team that is very heavy on mystery thriller horror this year. I feel like the past couple of years I was kind of giving up a bit on the genres. I think last year, the last 2 years, my worst genre rating-wise was thriller. So you know, obviously it plays into what I feel like reading, but I'm back to it, and I think that if we balance it with some cozy fantasy, witchy vibes, magic vibes, we might be successful. We might be. And if we're not, maybe I will eventually learn to give up on those genres. Never. I'm sure I might pick up other books here and there. Like, I still want to read more Elena Ferrante. I did not care for the book I did read this month, but maybe this one will be better. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section if you have read any of these, which ones you think I should prioritize, maybe the ones you want reviews of in the upcoming weeks. And I will be putting more videos on the screen that I recommend you check out, including some of my past best fall recommendations, because again, this year we're starting extremely early, apparently. I feel like I have been in fall mood too, so I get it. And I will be seeing you in an upcoming video very soon. Bye.